Good afternoon everyone, we are the Group 11 reporters and our assigned topic is all about climate change and energy crisis. So before I begin my part, let me introduce to you my group members and their assigned topic. Once again, good afternoon everyone, I am Baby Choi Ofang, the first reporter, and today we will be discussing about climate change and what are the causes. So what is climate change anyway? Climate change is the change in average weather patterns that have sum to define Earth's local, regional, and global climates. In short, climate change is the change of environmental conditions of the Earth. Climate change is also called a global warming. What is global warming? So global warming refers to the rise in average surface temperature on the Earth. To better understand what is climate change, let's watch this animated video. Our Earth's normal weather over a very long time. It usually takes hundreds or thousands of years for the climates to change. But recently, our climate has been changing much faster. All these changes makes life harder for our plants, animals, and people around the world. And the biggest cause of climate change is humans, including you and me. When we use a car, the engine makes a gas called CO2. The CO2 comes out the exhaust pipe and floats up into the air. A lot of people use cars, meaning a lot of CO2 is going up to the air. When we leave the TV or the lights on, that uses an electricity, and the electricity comes from the power station, and that makes a lot of CO2. Airplanes makes even more CO2 than cars. Normally, when the heat from the sun warms our planet, some of the heat reflect back into the space. There is so much CO2 in the air that is covering us like a big blanket, holding some of it. This blanket of CO2 can make the air too hot or make an extra heat. This is called climate change. Climate change causes all sorts of problems for our planet like plants, animals, and the humans. For example, our ice and snows are melting faster. Sometimes the heat causes drought when there's not enough rain, and all the plants die. Sometimes, the hot air makes great big storms called cyclones. Storms makes big waves that smash up coral reefs. The heat can warm up the sea that causes the coral reef loses its colors and die, and the fish to go away. Our weather is becoming more extreme, with more heat waves, heavy rainfall, and powerful hurricanes. Luckily, there are a lot of countries around the world helping together to fight climate change, and a lot of easy ways you and I can do to make less of CO2, like reusing things instead of throwing them out. Instead of driving, ride a bike or take a bus. Use less of electricity and eat food grown closer to home. You and I can fight climate change.
Good day everyone, I am Lian Kim Marsga and this is the continuation of our report. It's all about climate change. So let's start. What are the effects of climate change? So the effects of anthropogenic human-caused climate change range from more frequent and severe droughts to snowstorms and extreme winter weather in temperature regions as a result of forming Arctic weather fronts. So, ang climate change caused by human activities nga nag-cause og dako kayo nga mga problema around the world. One major effect is more extreme weather. That's why nag-antos ta sa more frequent and severe droughts or tagtuyot nga makadaot sa atong mga tanom, maglisod pagkuha og tubig, and nag-cause og sunog. And next is the stronger storms and floods nga nag-cause og pagbaha, pagdamage sa balay and businesses and disrupt people's lives. And lastly is unexpected severe winter weather or grabe nga tingtugnaw. So next is it's not only human that are affected. Warming ocean temperatures are increasing the frequency of coral reef bleaching. Warmer, drier weather means that the forests in some regions are no longer recovering from wildfires, and wild habitats around the world are becoming less susceptible to animals. So, di lang kita mga tao ang nagsuffer. The changes in our climate are having devastating impact on the natural world. Like coral reef bleaching, oceans are absorbing a lot of extra heat from the atmosphere nga mag-cause og pagtaas sa temperature sa mga dagat. And the forest fires, warmer and drier conditions create ideal situation for wildfires. Ang pagkawala sa mga forest is leads sa pagkabuga sa mga balay, pagkuha sa yuta o paggawa sa mga daghang carbon dioxide sa atmosphere nga magpalala sa climate change. So next is the How is climate change affecting the Philippines? The Philippines is the most affected country by climate change due to its location in the Western Pacific where warm ocean waters are getting hotter. So, ang Philippines is very vulnerable sa mga effects sa climate change. It's a geographic location in the Western Pacific Ocean, places it directly sapat kung asan nag-increase ang level sa dagat ang kusog na bagyo. Ang warm water nga nag-surround sa archipelago are heating up faster than many other parts sa globe nga nagpalala sa mga intense nga panghitabo sa panahon karon. So next is the warmer seas release more heat causing stronger storm. Since 2006, 5 of the deadliest typhoon have hit the Philippines. Typhoon Yolanda in 2013 killed 6,300 plus and displaced millions. So, warmer ocean water is maunang nag-provide og energy nga nagpakusog sa mga bagyo, making them stronger and more destructive. Ang increased intensity is makita sa Philippines nga naka-experience og dakong pagtaas nga frequency of intensity sa mga bagyo sa niagi nga mga decade. Sukad atong 2006, 5 sa mga deadliest typhoon sa record ang migo sa archipelago and makapinsa sa bagyong Yolanda atong 2013. Serve as reminder nga maggrabe ang mga threat ani. Ang kusog nga hangin sa bagyo og devastating nga 15 to 20 foot nga storm surge mao resulta sa pagkamatay sa over 6,300 ka tawo og nagbilang sa over million nga mga tawo nga walay napuy-an. The Philippines has no strong natural barriers. Mangroves once helped protect coastlines but almost have been lost since 1918 due to deforestation. So, ang Philippines is walay big mountains or other strong barriers nga mo block sa bagyo. Before ang mangrove trees or bakawan nga makita nimo sa dagat is makatabang na siya para mo-protect sa mga coast para magpahinay sa mga balod o magpugong sa baha. But since 1918, almost half aning mga mangrove is nawala tungod sa kaputulan lang. Sea levels in the Philippines are rising twice as fast as the global average. Yolanda's 15 to 20 foot storm surge displaced millions of people. Mas pasabsad ang pagsaka sa level sa dagat sa palibot sa Philippines. Tungod ani mas nigrabe ang mga pagbaha tung time sa bagyong Yolanda. Niabot og 15 to 20 foot ang kadaon sa baha nga ni daghan sa lugar nga ni force of million of people nga nihawa sa ilahang mga balay. So last is before dry months were January to June and wet months were the rest. Now dry and wet days happen anytime making the weather unpredictable. So ang Philippines is naka-experience once of medyo predictable nga pattern sa dry o wet season rather and ang month sa January to June is kasagaran dry while ang month sa nga nabilin is nailhan nga mas taas ang pag-ulan. Bisan pa ang climate change is disrupting established pattern nga nag-lead sa dili nato matag na nga pabag-o-bag-o sa panahon. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, this is Clark Chides Belmonte. This is the continuation of our report, Cause of Energy Crisis. Overconsumption. The energy crisis is a result of many different strains on our natural resources. Not just one, there is a strain on fossil fuels such as oil, gas, and coal. Due to overconsumption, which in turn can put a strain on our water and oxygen resources by causing pollution. An overconsumption, this is an excessive use of fossil fuels as other resources leads to faster depletion and more pollution. As people continue to consume energy responsibly, it increased the burden on natural resources. Overpopulation. Another cause of the crisis has been the increase in the world's population and its demand for fuel and products. An overpopulation, this is a growing global population increases the demand for food, products, and energy. All this requires fuel to produce and transport, which puts more pressure on energy supplies. Poor infrastructure. Aging infrastructure of power generating equipment is yet another reason for energy shortage. Most of energy production firms keep using outdated equipment that restricts the production of energy. For infrastructure, this is a outdated and aging energy system such as power plants and transmission lines. This limits energy production and causes frequent breakdowns. Without regular upgrades, energy supply becomes unreliable. Unexplored renewable energy options. Renewable energy still remains unused in most countries. Most of energy comes from non-renewable resources like coal, and it still remains the top choice to produce energy. Explored renewable energy options. Many countries still rely heavily on non-renewable energy sources like coal and oil. Renewable energy options such as solar and wind remain underused, even though they can help reduce deficiency and pollution. Delay in commissioning of power plants. In few countries, there is a significant delay in commissioning of new power plants that can fill the gap between the demand and supply of energy. The result is that all plants come under huge stress to meet the daily demand for power. When supply doesn't match the demand, it results in load shedding and breakdowns. This means that new power plants are not built or activated on time. This puts extra pressure on older power plants, causing power shortage and system failures. Wastage of energy. In most parts of the world, people do not realize the importance of conserving energy. It is only limited to books, internet, newspaper ads, lip service, and seminars. Unless we give it a serious thought, things are not going to change. Wastage of energy means a lack of awareness about energy conservation result in careless usage. Simple action like leaving the house lights on or using an inefficient appliances waste energy and worsen the crisis. Poor distribution system. Frequent tripping and breakdowns are a result of poor distribution system. This means that weak power distribution system lead to frequent outage and breakdowns. Even if enough energy is produced, it may not reach consumers effectively. Example, in a rural area, electricity poles and wires are outdated. Every time it rains, the power trips for hours. Even though there's enough electricity being produced, it can't reach the people properly, and it may lead in blackouts. Major accident and natural calamities. Major accidents like pipeline burst and natural calamities like eruption of volcanoes, floods, earthquakes can also cause interruption to energy supplies. The huge gap between supply and demands of energy can raise the price of essential items, which can give rise to inflation. Means that disasters such as earthquake, floods, or pipeline explosion can suddenly disrupt energy supplies, making it difficult to meet the demand. For example, a typhoon hit a coastal area and damaged major power lines and supply stations. It takes weeks to restore electricity and fuel deliveries are delayed, affecting nearby cities as well. Wars and attacks. War between countries can also hamper supply of energy, especially if it happens in Middle East, countries like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, UAE, or Qatar. Prices of fuel reaches its peak, causing global shortage or create major problem for energy consumers. This means that conflict between countries, especially in rich in oil regions, can severely affect global energy supply and cause fuel prices to rise dramatically. Miscellaneous factors. Tax hikes, military coup, political events, severe hot summer or cold winter can cause sudden increase in demands of energy and can choke supply. A strike by union and oil production firms can definitely cause an energy crisis. This means that unexpected events such as political unrest, tax changes, extreme weather, or worker strike can create sudden energy shortage and disrupt the supply chain.
Good day, everyone. My name is Angelica S. Fernandez. So, I will discuss to you about the possible solutions to the energy crisis. First is move towards renewable resources. So, ang kanisya is the best The best possible solution to the energy crisis is to reduce the world's dependence on non-renewable resources. So, ang kaning kuan, we have a two non-renewable. So, mo ni siya ang fossil fuels o nuclear energy. So, ang fossil fuel mo nang nabilang siya sa non-renewable man gud kay coal og oil and natural gas are formed from ancient organic matter, which is kani siya ang plants and animals that buried and subjected to intense pressure and heat over millions of years. Kanina process is kanang dugay siya mobalik munang nabilong siya sa non-renewable. So, nadaan siya. Kay we are talking about the possible solution man to the energy crisis. So, na ning fossil fuels. Next is ang nuclear energy or ginatawag nga uranium. Kani siya manggod kay limited quantity raman jud good ni siya. So much better jud if we use our renewable resources like solar kay kanang pag solar manggod kay makatipid ka unya. Ang solar kay ginakuan lang siya sa sun mo nang renewable siya unya kanang maka-save kag energy mo nang nabilong siya sa kuan renewable resources. Tapos kanang nindot siya gamiton o kanang maka-save jud ka labi na sa kanang bayronon. Tapos so dili lang solar na pay steam o wind. So mo na siya ang mga renewable resources. So, sa next nata, number 2 is buy energy efficient product. So, kani siya is ganing buying energy efficient product, a guide to saving money and energy. Kay diba naman may mga bulb nga kusog gani kayo mo kanang mukuan og kuryente mo consume. Tapos napoy kanang bulb kanang mga lead gani na kanang if ever nga isaksak siya unya pag mag-burn out kay musiga ra gyapon kana siya mo na siya ang makasave og money og kanang malas ganang imong bayronon sa kuryente kay tungod na ingon ana nga product. Choosing energy efficient product is a smart way to reduce your energy bills and lessen your environmental impact. This guide will help you navigate the process, highlighting key considerations and product categories. So, para pod makasave ta, magpa-check ta og kanang product nga hinay o gamay ra ang makonsume nga energy bills. If millions of people across the globe use CFLs and leads for residential and commercial purposes, the demand for energy can go down and an energy crisis can be averted. So, number 3, advanced lighting controls. The use of smart lighting technology para ng preset controls, dimers, integrated system. So, ang preset lighting controls kay allow you to set and recall favorite lighting levels with a simple button press. Think of it like saving a radio station preset. You select your desired brightness, save it, and then instantly recall that setting whenever you want. This is often found in more advanced dimers, switches, or integrated system. So, kanang pahinayan lang nimo, i-adjust lang nimo ang brightness diri sa kuan sa preset lighting. Kung kanang pwede nimo siya ma-recall sa imong favorite lighting levels. So, ang dimers kay Dimers are devices that control the intensity of light. They allow you to adjust the brightness of a light fixture smoothly transitioning between full brightness and off. So, ang kaning dimers kay kanang full brightness lang og off ang kanang kuan ang pag-transition niya kaning integrated lighting system kay muna siya ang lighting system combine multiple lighting controls into a single comprehensive system. So that is amuan namingon ani ning integrated lighting kay kanang ang bulb na mo or ang suga na mo kay pwede siya mahimong blue ay color blue, red, ana gani. Tas this typically include multiple dimers, scene settings, and often smart home integration. This system allow for complex lighting scheme to be controlled from a single point sa wall panel, app, or remote. So, na may suga ron niya na ay remote o niya kanang pwede nimo siya kanang mabalhin-balhin gani sa any color na imong gusto. So, ang number 4 kay easier grid access. So, kanin siya simplifying the process for individuals generating their own power, which is ang solar. Solar kay dali ra jud siya kanang ang energy manggod para nay energy ang imong solar kay imo lang na siyang itapat sa sun sa init tapos pagkahuman kay nanadayon kay kuan nanadayon energy imong kanang solar tapos makagamit na dayon kanya pwede nimo siya ikuan sa imong kanang sa bulb para mosiga ang sa bukid gani kay ingon ana pod ang ilang ginabuhat ilang ginagamit ang solar to feed excess energy back into the grid, encouraging renewable energy adoption through subsidies. So, mo ni siya kanang renewable manggod ang kanang ang solar god o niya easy to access gani siya easier to access kay kuan kanang turusan lang jud maka nanaling kay energy niya magamit na dahil nimo siya munong kanang gamay ra imong bayro nun sa kuryente if mo gamit ka ani. So next is ang energy simulation. Energy simulation software can be used by big corporations to design building unit and reduce running business energy cost. Engineers, architects, and designers could use the design to come up with the most energy efficient building and reduce carbon footprint. So kani siya kay ginakuan ni siya sa kanang mga company para kanang gamay lang ang ilang mabayaran ba. Energy simulation is a powerful tool used to predict and analyze the energy performance of buildings, systems, and processes. It involves creating virtual models that mimic real-world scenarios, allowing engineers and designers to test different designs options and evaluate their impact on energy consumption, efficiency, and cost. So, nagamit siya sa mga company kung if ever nga magkuan og building para ganing gamay lang ilang mabayran sa kanang energy. So next is number 6 is perform energy audit. Energy audit is a process that helps to identify the areas where your home or office is losing energy and identify steps you can take to improve energy efficiency. Energy audit, when done by professional, can help you to reduce your carbon footprint, save energy and money, and avoid energy crisis. So, ang last is common stand on climate change. So, both developed and developing countries should adopt a common stand on climate change. They should focus on reducing greenhouse gas emissions through an effective cross-border mechanism. With current population growth and overconsumption of resources, the consequences of global warming and climate change cannot be ruled out, but both developed and developing countries must focus on emission cuts to cut their emission levels to half from current levels by 2050. So, the need for a unified global approach to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, citing the urgency driven by population growth and resource consumption, it calls for emission cuts to halve current levels by 2050 or 2050. In overall, Kensha is to address energy challenges and climate change, combining technological advancement, policy changes, and international cooperation. That's all. Thank you. Thank you po.